Good afternoon. I am committing to doing these on Tuesdays so you can gain information about what it is I do. There are some other coaching things that I have in the mix. I am bringing my mind, body, eating, psychology, coaching practices and programs back to my coaching. I've been a life coach since 1998. And I have left coaching 2 or 3 different times in my life. Certain things were going on. I did some extra study, some stuff. I took a break. And in 2019, my husband and I had a pretty severe truck accident. And the universe basically was telling me I was going to sit still. Now, I was going to address my addiction to running and being busy. Busy, 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 busy. And the psychology piece that I got from that was that if I was busy, I was okay. If I was busy, I was busy. I didn't need to look at stuff, my own stuff. I have gone through a lot of different training programs on trauma and healing myself. And so at this point in my life, I am ready to bring my mind, body, eating, coaching practitioner, psychology back to the table. And I just want to talk a little bit today about my training. My program was over 250 hours of study. Studied many different facets of psychology and eating and weight. And the weight includes gaining weight, losing weight, people that are underweight, people that are overweight, many, many different avenues around that. And I used to be 260 pounds. I was never a yo-yo dieter. I lost the weight consistently over time. I remember going to the gym and hating it. I was like, I can't stand to be here. That was when I was at my heaviest. And it took a lot of training, retraining my mind, refocusing my mind on what the goal was. And I had to end up having pretty much one goal and focusing on it because of my trauma. And I didn't know this at that time. All of my dysfunction and dysregulation and stuff played out in my life. And it had to be, I lost the weight. And they say, lose the weight, lose the disease. I was diagnosed as a type 2 at first, diabetic. I was really a type 1, but my medical doctor didn't do that kind of testing and whatnot. So I don't want to get into my health story because that'll be another video, but getting into my training and bringing this back now, I took a break in 2019 after the accident. And then in of course, COVID was all around in there, and Roger then got off the road in May of 2021. And so I'm just coming back around to this, and then my meditation boards, if you've seen those are really kind of taken off at the moment. And so I'm wearing different hats. But I love this concept because I think it is a piece that is largely missing in the weight loss industry. I think there are some companies that are starting to come around to it, but I have seen none of those programs when I've looked into a couple of them, not to get training, but just what they offer to the client. And none of them come close to Mark David's stuff and his program that I took. So it was over 250 hours of learned training, and it just covers a whole range of things and answers many questions that I had because I lost the weight when I was 260 pounds. I lost the weight, got down to, I think, 100 and, well, I lost over 100 pounds. And I've kept it off for over 7 years now. So I've learned something, and I actually was able to change my patterns of behavior that made me gain weight. But I thought the emotional eating piece was going to leave when I lost the weight, and it didn't. And so I had to look further, and that's when I got into the psychology of eating training. Learned a lot of things about a lot of things that I think they should cover on the evening news. They should be telling people these things. There are many, many, many of you out there that are overweight, and you're just done with trying to lose weight. And that's because, this is my opinion, the psychological part has not been addressed. You can develop your self-discipline to a point where you lose the weight. And if you don't address the emotional piece, the psychological piece, the mental piece, and sometimes the spiritual piece, you just gain the weight back, because your behaviors only change for so long because you don't have the support system. See, you need to build a support system. And I don't mean a support system with a whole lot of other people. I'm talking about building your support system within yourself. And in order to do that, you have to understand who you are as an eater. I'm getting ready to reinstigate, kind of bring back a workshop, the psychology of eating. I'm going to do it here, and I'm going to do one in January at Wentzville at the Chakra Healing room, and hopefully start to gain some momentum in helping people lose weight and keep the weight off. So I wanted to leave you with one little exercise to do before I see you next Tuesday. And that is, and this is part of the coaching that you would get with me, I encourage you to just call me. Just do one coaching hour. Let me work with you, and let's see if we can't get some ideas in place and your specific goals narrowed down as to what you want to do. $65 an hour, 636-698-4048. But your exercise is to be mindful. There's 10 different things you can do without ever changing your food that have to do with the psychology of eating that you can start to implement now. Costs you nothing. You just start to do it. And I am successful with the people that I help because I have my 40-day shift chart that I instigate with people to use to get their behavior changed. And this is not quick. This is not a quick thing. However, if you are committed to doing the 40-day shift charts, in 6 months, you are a different person. You will be a different person. So the one thing is to be mindful of when you're eating and slow down. Make it an experience. If you're going to eat, eat. Don't eat and watch your phone. Don't eat and try to read your Kindle. Don't eat and listen to the TV. Don't eat and listen to the radio. Sit down. If you have a family, try and instigate a 10-minute, just a 10-minute sit down with the family at the table time. Eating, we need to retrain ourselves as to what that is. And we need to slow down, and we need to pay attention. And one of the exercises that I've come up with in my years of coaching this particular mind-body eating psychology is look at your plate of food or your box of food, whatever you're eating. I'm not making any judgments on what you're eating. Whatever you're eating, look at that plate and just be mindful, bring yourself present. And one of the exercises you can do to do that is to look at all the different people that were involved in that plate or that box of food, from Who made the box? Where did the box come from? Who made the plate? How did the plate get to your table? Who were the farmers? Where did the seeds come from? All of the people in the grocery store, the people that have to unload the truck, the people that have to harvest the food. Think of how many people are involved in just one plate of food. It's really rather fascinating. And it brings you present. It brings you to your plate of food. And it shuts out all of that other. Don't multitask when you're eating. Start with just one meal. Start slow. I usually work with people to, just slow down. Just slow down and be present and be mindful. We need to become mindful eaters. And I'm not talking about whatever kind of food. If you are a fast food person, then great. If you're a Panera person, great. If you're always make your meals at home and sit down, great. Just be present when you're eating. When you eat, eat. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.